I have no intro, so let's just get started. So in this video, we're gonna do a tier list. I know I technically did a tier list, not tier list, for my last video, but this one's like a proper, like we're on tiermaker.com tier list. But this time, instead of talking about books, we're going to be talking about music. So these are going to be all of the albums. I'm going to be ranking all of the albums that I listened to in 2025. There's like 56 of them. I listened to some other projects, a few EPs that I just like left off of here because it seemed a little silly to like add the EPs on. Not because I have beef with EPs or anything. It just didn't feel like it made sense. Except I think I have maybe one EP on here that I had to add on here. Like I couldn't go without adding this EP on here. So it's on here and we'll get to that when we get to that EP. Let's go over all of our tiers. So our bottom tier is, which I just did these 2 seconds ago. So if there's a typo, this is awkward. So our bottom tier is actually, I don't remember nor care. I don't really remember that I listened to this album and I kind of don't care about it. Is there anything wrong with the album per se that will end up in this category, or albums that will probably end up in this category? No. They're most probably like perfectly good albums. I just don't really remember anything about them and I don't really care. So there's that. That's our bottom tier. Our next tier, She's Perfectly Fine, Just Not For Me. This is an album that I do remember, but again, it was a perfectly good album. I just don't necessarily resonate with it. It's an album I might revisit because the streets probably really like it. I just didn't necessarily vibe with it. And then our third tier, Save to a Playlist. Now, here's why I have to do like some actual explanation, right? So Save to a Playlist is the tier where within the whole album, I might have saved like one or two songs from the entire project to one of the like plethora of playlists that I have, which means that I didn't really think that the album was good. Is that the way I want to phrase it? I didn't love the album, but there's songs on it I love. But I don't love enough of the project to like save it to my phone. So she just like a couple songs are saved to a playlist. So that's that one. And then second from the top, I Love You, but Love Isn't Enough. These are albums that I love, but they're not like my top albums. These aren't like, ooh, it's giving album of the year. Ooh, it's giving like my ride or dies. Ooh, it's giving I for the next couple of months are going to be like, this is my favorite album of all time, which I feel like I say about every album ever. It's none of those because she's just not quite good enough. So love isn't enough. Me loving it isn't enough for her to like be at my top. And then the very top tier is That Girl. Whatever albums end up into this, which obviously I know some of the albums that are gonna end up in this tier, whatever albums end up in this tier are truly like top tier. Like these are albums that like. They don't necessarily have to be great to you or great to the streets, but they are great to me, and I can't stop listening to them. And there's probably going to be some albums I put in here that might be a little controversial based on like how the streets feel about it, in comparison to how I feel. But that's why it's my tier list and nobody else's, you know? Now that all of that is out of the way, let's get into the rankings. So the first album we have here is Isotope. We'll see if I remember what the names of these albums are. Stay with me. It'll be on the screen regardless whether I remember or not. First we have Isotope. Now here is kind of my hot take about Isotope. This is listed as an album. This is short as hell and I'm calling it an EP. Like to me, this is an EP and I'm waiting for them to give me an album. I love this project. When I tell you I forget what's the name of the song because don't ask me about titles, names of songs. Don't ask me about none of that. I do not remember names of anything. But probably like the second or third track, if not both, are like some of the best songs that I think I arguably might have ever heard. That feels like that's a big thing to say, but I really really enjoyed those songs. This is a really good project. It really is. I'm gonna actually have to put this in I Love You But Love Isn't Enough because it's not quite top because again, I don't even think this is an album. I don't even think this is really an album. So for it to be on my album tier list is a little crazy. But love that project. Really, really do. Is this Prelude to Ecstasy? Yes, I think that's the title of this, Prelude to Ecstasy. This is the last dinner party album that was a weird sentence. This is the first, the last party. um, and now we've lost it. You get it. You get it. It's on the screen. It doesn't matter. Anyways, this is the first one of their albums I had ever listened to. Ooh, ooh, I like this so much. I really, really do. This album is really, really fun. There's moments of it that make me feel very gender, which I appreciate. It's just like, how do I explain this to you? It's just, it feels very, is romantic the word? Romantic, but not in romantic in almost like an error type way, and not in like the act of romance per se. Like it feeds into that like ballroom aesthetic. It's that it's very much giving like dinner party, but you wearing like a really really bougie ass expensive ball gown to it. Like it's really giving that. It the vibes are immaculate, and it's like I love you but love isn't enough. Very very good project, really really adored it. Here's the first EP that I put on here that is where like true EP where I had to go into a little bit of like unserious territory because I love it so damn much, and that's Alive and In Person, which is the live album by Geese. This is so goddamn good. They perform some of their songs off of 3D Country, and 3D Country, spoiler, I guess, is like one of my favorite albums. So to hear them do so many of the not so many a handful of the songs from that album and to hear like the live version of it where you can tell they're in a transition period between 3D Country and Getting Killed. Ooh, 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 this is crazy to put it to put the one EP I think I have on here in that girl, but I kind of have to. I kind of have to. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's so good. And on to another project that's so good. Lux by Rosalia. I've never listened to any other music by Rosalia like ever, and I don't speak a lick of Spanish. And that doesn't really matter because she's speaking 50, 11 languages in this album. So it doesn't really matter if I knew how to speak Spanish regardless. But oh, wow. When I first put on this album and I was just listening to how beautiful Rosalia's like voice is. Oh my, she's such a good singer. Oh my God. Oh my God. She's literally such a good singer. It's like vocally, this is beautiful, production wise, stunning. Like there's something so like big and grand about this project, and you can tell that she's poured so much into it. Like not just from what she's doing vocally, not just from the production, but like the fact of like how many languages she's singing on this, her range on this, like it's so good. And I don't even know. I don't even know if I fully have words. I feel like even if I did understand everything in this, like language wise, if I like knew enough of the languages that she's singing in, I still feel like I would feel like I'm not smart enough to fully understand everything she's doing with this project. Like I know there's something so like deep and meaningful and powerful that she's saying in this, and I don't think I've ever listened to an album, or at least not in a long time, listen to an album that I feel like is doing something so much bigger than what a lot of other artists are doing. Um, she, like brilliant, like actually, like truly a piece of actual art, like absolutely brilliant. I don't even really have words. Like it's just so good. Next, we're going into Deadbeat. Now, here is where it's going to get a little controversial. So, I found out about this album scrolling through YouTube shorts like the unk that I am. And I saw someone dancing to the third track on this album, Dracula. And me being in my vampire era, me being obsessed with Castlevania, obviously, obviously, I went and immediately downloaded the album and listened to it like the next day. And I can't stop listening to this project. I think I listened to it, like first listened to it in November, which, ooh, November was a great month for albums for me. Not saying that there was a lot of albums that came out in November, because I'm pretty sure this came out in the summer. I just listened to a lot of really good albums in November. Like January of 2025 and November of 2025 were probably my best months as far as like music goes. And I love this. I I'm still kind of waiting for me to like not want to listen to this anymore, but I find myself going onto my phone being, oh, I want to listen to some music, and then just clicking on that album. So I don't know. I don't know. I really, really love it. I was watching Mike the Snare talking about this album in particular, and he was like, it sounds like an artist making like dance or club music. I don't remember which word he used, maybe he used both. Dance or club music for someone that doesn't like go to the club. And as someone that doesn't go to the club but likes music that I feel like I can technically shake my ass to, yeah. The next album is Everything Is Love by the Carters. This came out God knows how long ago, but I never listened to it in full. I had only listened to like a handful of songs from this project. And then I finally listened to it in full, and um wow, wow. I don't think Beyonce can do any wrong. Actually, I don't think Beyonce can do any wrong. And this tier list is starting to feel unserious, because you might be asking, Rin, where do you want to put anything in any of the other categories but the top two? And just understand, I had a lot of wins. I had a whole lot of wins. Do I want to put this at the top, at the very top, at that girl? I think I have to, because I named this tier after Beyonce. I was thinking of I'm That Girl, and that's the reason why I even, made this a tier. So I guess it has to stay there. I guess it has to stay there. It's so good. It's so fun. I can't wait to like listen to this album in the summer the way God intended, God being Beyonce. I can't wait to listen to it during the summer, because it's just gonna hit different. It's really just gonna hit different. I don't know. I don't know. Everything in Time, I believe is what it's called. And this was the last album I listened to in 2025. And I was like, oh, thank God a win. Thank God a win. Because I hadn't listened to like an album in a minute. Like December was a little rough. But also like November was so good that it didn't really matter. Like I was technically fed. This album isn't normally something I feel like I'd be into as much as I'm into it. It's quite high energy, and I'm not normally into music that's high energy in this way. So I was a little surprised when I really, really liked this, but I do. I really, really like this actually. So much so that I think I have to put it in I Love You But Love Isn't Enough. I don't think that there's a world really where this could ever be higher though. Like it doesn't feel the way like these other two projects feel, where I could imagine like these artists could give me me personally, another project, and I would be like, absolutely, like top album. I can't really imagine this artist doing that, just because like I said, this isn't really the type of music I like gravitate towards. But it's very high energy. It has a lot of really like catchy songs, like nice hooks. So it's a well done project, and I really did enjoy it. It's just kind of out of my comfort zone. Next, we have is it Tim's? Is it Thames? I'm not actually sure how to pronounce her name. I have been trying to get into another one of her projects since listening to her For Broken Ears EP, which I love. I love that EP. But there hasn't been like another project by her that I've found that I've really enjoyed. I kind of find her music to feel repetitive, I guess. Um, it starts to really sound quite like samey to me. And that's why I'm like, I listened to a couple of tracks and I'm like, I feel like I heard the whole thing, which is probably the reason why an EP worked really well because EPs are so short anyway. So there's but like so much space to repeat the same thing because you only have like 5 or 6 tracks. But like a full like 12 plus track album, which I don't even remember how many tracks this is, but like 12 plus track album. I fear I, ooh, do I want to put this in? I actually don't remember nor care. I kind of think, yeah, yeah. Because I don't really remember anything about this because all of it just sounded the same to me. But like, I had to have finished it because I wouldn't have wrote it down in my phone if I didn't finish it. Wow, that's I don't even remember. I literally don't remember. So now we're gonna move on to getting killed by geese, my favorite pastime. And obviously, I geese has had such a good year for me personally, to the point that like for the girls that don't know, which you would have no reason to know this, I'm a full-time student, and for one of my classes I literally wrote an essay about geese. And I was like, oh, what other band can I write about? What other band can I write about? And it was as if God was coming down from the heavens, not Beyonce this time. God was coming down from the heavens and being like, it has to be geese. So then I had to do it. And that essay did give me, I did get what? A 98 on that essay. So you know I ate down. This album is brilliant. It takes everything from, how do I explain this? If you look at 3D country, right? The way I think, I'm pretty sure I described this in my essay and like how I just would describe this in general. 3D country feels very like brash, everything thrown at the wall, like guns ablazing, we swinging, right? And from their album Projector, their first album, it feels like they're a little unsure. And then you get to 3D Country where they're like, "Oh, we not playing them games. We guns ablazing, everything. We doing everything." And then you get getting killed, and it's there's like still a like a punchiness to it, but there's something about it that feels a little bit more mature, a little softer, a little bit more, I don't want to say intentional, but maybe. Like there's something that feels a little bit more grounded. I guess no pun intended. There's something that feels a little bit grounded, more grounded in this project than their other two. And at first I wasn't fully on board when I was first listening to it. And then the more that I got into it, I said, oh, no, they're really doing something here. Like the production, excellent, lyrics, excellent, everything that Cameron is doing vocally, excellent. Like it's so good. And there's like moments on this that are really fun, but then also moments that are like completely devastating. Uh from the intro to the outro, like guns ablazing on all of it. It's so good. It's so good. All right, and next, on to another album that's really, really good, The Art of Loving. I think listened to this towards the end of 2025. There is something that Olivia is doing vocally that is so almost like, do I want to say simple? Not quite. It's, I guess there's like a simplicity to her, to what she's doing vocally, but it's so intentional. Like there's not necessarily a bunch of like runs and like this big, like it's not this big like grandiose vocal performance, right? But every single like note that she hits, like it feels like she really thought about, okay, this is how this needs to be. Like there's something that feels so intentional, but also so raw with all of the emotions. It's, oh my God. Oh my God. I really can't wait to hear like what she does in the future, and not saying that I'm not like, care about this current project, not to be misconstrued, but I can only imagine like how much higher she can go. Like if this is all, if this is where we're starting, like I can only imagine like how much further we're gonna go. Next, we have, what is this Haley Williams album called? Oh, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. Is that correct? That's crazy if it is. I like this. However, I don't like this as much as I feel like other people like this. Like I listen to it and I'm like, oh, that song's good. That song is good. That song is good. Also, it's fucking Haley Williams, so it's like also kind of don't piss me off. Like, of course, vocally brilliant, lyrically genius. Like, of course, it's gonna do that. But also, like, let it be known that I was never really a fan. uh Always respected her. Like I don't even think I have the words to tell you that, like, normally I have beef every single time I see a white woman or a white person in general that has my last name. Like I'm already kind of ready. And this is one of the few people that I said, no, we cool. Actually, we besties. Actually, we were sisters. Like I really don't have any like beef with this woman. I think she's a brilliant artist. And I think all of the years that she has in the game, and the fact that we even still care about what she's doing and that she's doing things that are still innovative and new and refreshing is incredible. And I almost feel like she needs a separate tier because I can't really put her in I Love You But Love Isn't Enough because it's not to that point. But putting I Save to a Playlist also doesn't really feel correct because I like too many songs off of the album to say it's that. But I guess I'm gonna still put it in saved to a playlist. Um, but just picture she's kind of in the middle. If I could just like scoot her right in here, like just imagine like that's what's going on. Next, we have Virgin by Lord. Now, again, I think the streets don't like this. And I think the streets are fucking wrong. This album is so good. And every single time I listen to it, every single time I go back and I go back and I go back, and it gets better and better and better each time. Every single time it gets better and better and better. And I think y'all are sleeping on Lord. I don't know what's going on. I remember we was obsessed with her when she was like 18, right? She was 18 when she came out, or roughly around 18. Um, Lord is around my age, right? Anyways, so I don't think y'all are like, I don't think y'all are hearing this. I don't think y'all are hearing this. This is really freaking good. I don't know. I don't know. I really, really like this project. Next, and I'm going to kind of talk about both of these together. These are both Mitski albums. So I I had a theory. I had a theory that I would really like Mitski's music. I had heard a lot of people say how like great it was and was really like hyping her up. So I'm thinking, I said, oh, like I'm gonna really enjoy this. It might be a little like giving like weird girl fiction, but I think like I'm a weird enough girl to like it. Turns out untrue. Yeah, I guess normal girl allegations. I don't know. I didn't really feel either one of these. So much so that I had planned on listening to all of her music and I just decided to not finish, which is crazy because I'm a completionist. So I like to complete everything. And I just kind of didn't I I just kind of I don't really remember them and I don't really care. Yeah, I just don't really think that they're that I don't want to say that they're not good. It really it can almost go into like it perfectly fine, just not for me. But also I just don't really remember. So yeah. Next we have the Cynthia Revo project. The Cynthia Revo project, it suffers from a thing that I really wish that musicians would stop doing. This album is so fucking long. I think it has like an hour runtime, and that's abysmal. That's abysmal. Albums don't need to be that long, especially if it's not a a project that has like this really good like cohesive story or it's really like trying to say something like monumental. Like it's just it's really annoying actually because this album I feel like could have been really good because obviously Cynthia Erivo has a beautiful voice. And there's so many tracks off of this that I was just like, oh my God, like this is so beautiful, this is so stunning. In a lot of the songs, she's doing this thing that I really enjoy when that artists do, where a very like powerhouse singer will kind of sound like they're holding back, like they're not giving the listener all of themselves. And she does that a lot throughout this project. And there was a lot of times where I was waiting for her to like really go and like belt and like make this like a big, really, really big song. And she didn't. And I was like, oh, the restraint in her voice is crazy. So it's just like, there's no doubt about this being good in the sense of like, vocally it's good. But as far as like needing to have like 1,000 tracks in an hour long, she's perfectly fine, just not for me. So we just had a little bit of technical difficulties. So if you see the albums at the bottom are a little out of order, it's because I had to just remake the whole tier list. I don't know why Tiermaker be beefing with me like nobody's business, but it be throwing hands every time. Anyways, back to Tell 'em That It's Sunny. I really like this project, or maybe really is too strong. I like this project. It's a nice project to kind of put on in the background and like do something else. It's not really something that I find when I put on that I'm really like listening to and like really paying attention to. It's just nice to put on to do other stuff. Like I threw it on for like a car ride. I'd like throw it on to like clean, like not too much. So I think she goes into save to a playlist. Whoops. Yes, there we go. She goes into save to a playlist. There's a handful of tracks on it, specifically the title track, that I think is so good. But the whole project, eh. Next, we have, I think this project's called Misery. Again, another project that I actually quite like, but I don't like enough to say that I love it. Like, it's not really giving that much. This is also like, I want to say like Korean R&B. And I'm already not really like a K-pop girly, and I'm not necessarily a huge fan of R&B either. So it's actually quite interesting that I like this at all, or that I like this artist's music at all, because it's quite outside of like what I'm normally into. So, and also disregard the fact that the next albums are from K-pop artists. Actually, mind your business. We'll get into that in a second. I actually really like this, and this almost feels kind of in the same vein as like Save to a Playlist. And I dare I say I feel like I actually kind of need another tier. So, okay, y'all. I had to pivot a little bit. We have another tier now. Bear with me with how chaotic this is. So now I've changed these three projects to I Like You, It's Not Love. But it's not love. And then we have the save to a playlist because we gonna actually get into the albums that really fit into that space. So there we are. So let's get into the K-pop. What a fucking doozy. Okay. Now we have Born Pink by Blackpink. And now this is really the I was gonna say this is gonna go into save to a playlist, but like there's only one track that I like off of this. So I don't even know if I could really say that. No, actually I will. Actually, I will. That's going in save to a playlist. That feels right, actually. I really just don't like K-pop for real. Anywho, next we have Ruby. Now, Ruby, I feel like suffers from a similar fate to the Cynthia Erivo project. This thing just is a little too long. It's like touching an hour, or it's about to like touch an hour. I want to say it's probably 53 minutes. I might be 100% correct. It's too long. It's just too fucking long. And I think it also has a lot of tracks too. So it's not even like it's 53 minutes and the tracks itself are long. Like I feel like it just has a lot of tracks, but I've I've heard little bits and bobs from it again since listening to it. I think I only listened to it once all the way through, and I think that this album might actually be better than I thought it was. So I'm still gonna put save to a playlist because I did actually recently save one of the tracks from this album into a playlist. This is literally the album that made me want to put this tier in particular. So I do have to say that maybe I just need to follow up actually. I might have to just follow up. Next we have Lisa's album. When this first came out, ooh, I couldn't stop playing this. Every single time I was on the bike at the gym, this was on. This was on every single time. So I have to kind of put her here. I have to put her there. This was so good. If we were talking about this at a different time of year, or if you would have asked me how I felt about this album earlier in 2025, like closer to around the time that I listened to it, I think I probably would have put it up higher. Maybe I would have put it up higher. Lisa's actually doing some pretty decent, good. She's doing some pretty good rapping on this. It feels very like pop rap though. It feels very like you're a non-black artist rapping. It feels very that because that's exactly what it is. But it's good. It's still really good. Next we have Perverts by Ethel Cain. This I think I'm gonna have to put, and She's Perfectly Fine, just not for me. This is like an ambient sound album, which I brought that album up in one of my other videos, and I said that I think it's good, and I still do, but it's like time and place. Time and place. So She's Fine. It's just technically not for me. But if you ask me in October, I'm going to say yes. But if you ask me any other time of the year, I'm going to tell you no. Next is an album that I literally don't know how to say the name of. So I'm not gonna, but you're going to see it on the screen. This is good. This is a really good project. Again, this is an album that I would kind of like put on and like do something else. It's not really a project that I'm necessarily like really engaging with, and that's on me to like not be engaging with art in like a real way, but it is a project that I'm not really like super interested in where I'm like really listening. That being said, it's still really good, so I still kind of feel like I might have to put it here, even though I don't really have strong like feelings about it. I still think that the moments when I am listening to it, because I've listened to it more than once, I'm like, oh no, this is a really good project. It's just not something that I'm normally like gravitating towards as much as maybe some other music. Next, we have the Last Dinner Party album that came out in 2025. The first one that we discussed, I believe, came out in 2023 or 2024. This is their more recent album. This one saddens me. It really does. It makes me really sad. And the reason why it makes me really sad is because I was anticipating that this album would be really, really good, that I would absolutely love it. Obviously, because of how much I loved the first album I heard from them. So I was like, oh man, I'm so excited. And I was listening to the singles. I was like, these singles are so fucking good. And I'm like watching live performances. I'm like in it. I'm like really, really excited. In the same way that I was really excited to hear Getting Killed by Geese, because I listened to The Last Dinner Party and Geese around the same time in 2025, like their first albums. Or the first albums I had heard from them. I had listened to them earlier in the year. So I'm really, really excited. I'm like, oh my God, I fell in love with these bands. And now they have more music that's coming out later in the year. That's so fucking exciting. Like what is my timing, right? And then I listened to it like in full and I couldn't get into it. And it made me so sad. This one's genuinely like saved to a playlist because there is songs that I think are so good. Like the singles are so good. And then there's like one other track that might be the fourth or fifth track off the project that is beautiful. And that's it. The rest of them are just kind of not very like memorable to me or like that particularly good. So there's that. It's a little unfortunate. Next, we have Party of Two, which I saw them in December and they were so good. And I had such a great time at that concert. Um, I have been waiting at bated breath, like before this came out, waiting at bated breath for them to like release a full project. So you know I was so fucking excited when this came out. And this album is so good. Intro track of this, so good. Vanessa Williams is literally like, wow. Every single time I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's so good. The production on it, ooh, the production eats down. The production eats down. I don't know. I don't know. I can't put this in like that girl. It's not my top, but it's really good. It's really fucking good. Ooh, I'm in my element now. Let's talk about this Clips album. This Clips album. So I didn't intend on listening to this, and ooh, I would have been foolish. Ooh, I would have been foolish. I didn't plan on listening to this album, but then I kept hearing like my partner play it. I kept hearing people talk about it, and I said maybe I need to give it a chance. And I listened to it the first time, and I said, I don't really think I love it. But I was thinking about the way that like my partner kind of pitched it to me, and it wasn't what they were saying it was going to be. So I went in thinking I was going to get something else. So after I listened to it the first time, I said, "You want to know what? I'm going to take out what they said, and I'm going to come into it with fresh ears, and I'm going to re-listen to the project and see how I feel." I go back in to re-listen to this project, and when I tell you, this is actually one of my favorite albums of all time. You see how I said that I was going to say that, and here I am. I think this album is flawless. I don't think that there's a single thing that you could do to make this album any better. Every single track feels so fresh, so new, so inventive, just like everything. Like the features are genius. All of the I hate Pharrell Williams. Whoa, I didn't mean to say it with my whole chest, but I meant it. I hate Pharrell Williams. However, um based on this at least, am I a fan? Maybe. I guess if I have to say it, if I have to do it. Not a single verse is a miss. Not a single line is a miss. Every single thing, even things that feel like they shouldn't make any sense, that lean on a little bit silly, still it's just like, no, actually genius. Actually brilliant, actually perfect. So you already know where this goes. If anything, if anything, the top girl. Don't play with me. Next, we have Fruit. I was briefly in my country bag. There's nothing else to prove that. Maybe I'm a liar. Maybe there's one other album to prove that. I grew up on country music. I am not a country music hater like some of the rest of you bitches. It wasn't that Cowboy Carter came out and suddenly I oh my god, country music might be good. Like no, I was always on that. And this is a country album that reminds me that like no, country music has always been good. You were just probably listening to bad artists. I don't know. I don't know, Yo T. Anyways, I really, really like this project. Madeline has a stunning voice. There's so much like weight to her voice. Is punchy the word that I want to use? Kinda. It's really good. There's like moments on this project that like literally make me cry. Like it's so good. And it's not often, I shouldn't say it's not often that like I listen to music and I'm not seeking out like a super emotional song. Like a song just kind of hits me, and it good. So good. So good. Absolutely love this. And also like the cover of this is stunning. The colors are so beautiful. Next we have Exit Simulation. This is a project that I found off of the Black Ambient playlist on Apple Music. This I like well enough, but again, it still gives that like I'm putting on music in the background to maybe like study or to like read a book or something. Like it's kind of giving that. It's not really music that I'm actively engaging with. I hate to keep saying that, but it's just kind of the truth. There are just some projects that are kind of just background music. And for this, I kind of want to put her in she's perfectly fine, just not for me. I think that's accurate for how I feel. Next we have the is this the Japanese house? Is that the name of this artist? This white woman? I love this. I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. I love me some lesbian music, I guess. I guess. I really love me some lesbian music. So this is going here. I don't even really know what else to say about other than this being lesbian music, except when I played this in early 2025, this I think was like the second album I listened to in 2025. I was cleaning all of my books, like rearranging everything and like cleaning them off because they be dusty as shit. I put on the first track, Spot Dog, I think, and it was so chaotic that I said, "Oh, I'm in it. I'm in it." I said, "Yeah, yeah, this is a great project." So next, to talk about chaos again, the new sound, I think this album is called. This album is weird. This album is fucking weird, and I think I've listened to it 3 times, and I don't know what to make of it. And I think I have to convince my partner to listen to it, and see it like what their thoughts are and how they feel. It might not help me go through my feelings at all, but I feel like I need somebody else to hear it. I feel like I'm the only person that's ever listened to this project ever, and I know that's untrue because this was literally like a recommendation from someone that I watch. So like that's untrue. But this project is so strange to me. It is this like jazz slash a bunch of others like all I don't know what's going on. I like actually don't know what's going on, and I think I might have to put her in she's perfectly fine, just not for me, because I'm confused. I'm just confused. It's good. I'm just confused. Next we have this the Ethel Cain project that also came out last year. How do I describe my feelings on Ethel Cain? I feel like they are an incredible musician, an incredible writer, an incredible storyteller. I just don't know if their music is fully for me. Like I every single time I hear other people talking about Ethel Cain and like talking about different ones of their songs, I'm like, oh my god, genius. I like watch one of their like live performances and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. But there's just something about their music that doesn't really like truly pull me in. And I don't know if it's maybe because of how much work I feel like I have to do to listen to their music. And it doesn't feel like the work I have to do to like listen to Lux. It doesn't feel like the work that I have to do to listen to the Clips album even. Like it's not the same type of work. I don't know. At least for this one, I think it's also going to have to go and she's perfectly fine, just not for me. Like it's really, really good. I just don't fully resonate with it that much. Next, we have the Teddy Swim. I've tried everything but Therapy, the complete edition, because for some reason I listened to the complete edition. This again is kind of background music to me. Oh no, this too is kind of background music to me. Teddy Swim has an incredible voice, very like soulful voice. Um, his songs I think are good. And if you told me that you had tickets to see him in concert, like I'd go with you. Like I'm not opposed to. I think he's a perfectly good artist. I'm just not like was super like thrilled by this. Even though I listened to the full thing, I just like eh it's fine. Next, and I'm gonna kind of do these two together, Wet Leg's first and second project. I listened to Wet Leg kind of by accident. I was scrolling through Apple Music and just kind of looking for like music to listen to. And I saw this cover and I was like, oh, that's weird. And I feel like this music will be weird. And then I saw that they had a few singles out and I listened to the singles, Catch These Fist and whatever was like the other single that came out around that same time. And I said, oh, I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I had both of these albums on repeat like nobody's business. Like no, like I was listening to these so much that they literally ended up in like my top artists and albums taking up like three spaces. How were they taking up three spaces and there's only two albums? I don't know, but somehow they did it. But somehow they fucking did it, and it's so good. I actually really like both of these, and I think I have to put both of these in "I Love You, but Love Isn't Enough." I have to put both of them there. Next, let's go into one that I kind of feel bad about, and I think that my thoughts on this, that I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong about my opinions on this, and that's Something Beautiful by Miley Cyrus. I think I might have only listened to this twice tops. The first time I listened to it, I thought it was okay. The second time, I was like, okay, I kind of see it, but I still don't love it. And I still like to this day, maybe I need to it's been a while out. I listened to it when it released, and I think it released in the summer. So maybe I just need to like revisit it because I hear too many people say that it was really good. Like people that are like really into music have said that this album is really, really good. Even some people saying that they think this is her best project. And I didn't see it. Um so for now it's giving this, but I think I might just need to revisit it. This next project is called can I remember? I Feel Different Every Day. I I like this. I like this. And I think I Like You, but It's Not Love is fitting. There are a lot of tracks that I like off of that project. I listen to it in full often enough. I probably listened to it 10 times. So obviously I like it enough to like to keep listening to it. And again, it's more lesbian music. So obviously, right? There's just something that doesn't set it over the edge for me for it being like longevity wise where I'm like, oh, like I'm going back to this purposefully, and in the times that I go back to it I'm like, oh my god, I think this is so good. Like it doesn't really give that. um However, like the title track, incredible. The title track is so fucking good. That's what made me listen to the whole project, was that I watched the music video for the title track. And I was like, yeah, yeah, this is so good. It's a good project. I like it. It's just not love. It's just not love. Good Lord. Tearmaker crashed at me again. Where were we at? So the other EP that I have on here, the last and final EP I have on here, is Kilo Keisha's EP, Negotiate, I want to say it's called. This EP is so fucking good. The track, what is it called? I'm gonna have it up here. The track that I'm referring to, Reprogram. No, it's called Reprogram. Um, the first time my partner played that song, I stopped everything that I was doing and was just like listening to what he was playing. Literally so good. So good. First like three tracks, genius. Actually genius. Now I am gonna put this in I Love You But Love Isn't Enough, and it's just because I don't think every track is good. So, and also it's an EP, and obviously I made the exception for the Geese EP, but like this one I kind of can't make an exception for. But it is so good. I definitely suggest listening to it. Absolutely brilliant. Now we have What a Devastating Turn of Events. Now this again is another album that I think is too long, and not only is it too long, but I find that this artist's music sounds very repetitive to me. Um, and I tried to listen to like an EP by them because I was like, okay, maybe it's just because there's too many songs and that's why I'm not vibing with it. And if there was less songs, I would be interested. But even on the EP, I couldn't get behind it. And it makes me really sad because I actually really like their voice. And I think that their music is good. They just don't have enough. There's not enough of an array of sounds that they're doing, or an array of emotions or whatnot, that makes me, really really be interested in this project. So I think I'm actually going to say I actually don't remember nor care, because I really don't remember anything about it because it was so repetitive. So I just kind of started to tune everything out. Next we have the Sailor Project. This is going straight into That Girl. I was obsessed with this and I can't really explain why. And again, this is another project that I can't wait until summer rolls around again just to listen to it and like listen to it in the way that God intended. Because it's so fun. It's so fun. It's so cutesy. It's so girly pop. Uh, I don't know. It's not even necessarily doing anything. Like this isn't like revolutionary music, right? Like she's not doing anything that hasn't been done before. Um, but it's just fun. It's just really, really fun. And sometimes you just need music that's fucking fun. Next we have the Lueve project. Um, and I feel similarly to Lueve as I do to Olivia Dean. I think Lueve also is such a good songwriter. She's doing quite beautiful things with her voice. Oh my God, you can tell this is someone that's like classically trained just in the way that she sings. It's so good. But that being said, unlike Olivia Dean, where I'm very excited to see what she does next, I don't have the same amount of excitement for Lueve. I can't really imagine what else she could do. Um, and that doesn't take away from this project, but it is something that I kind of keep in mind when I'm listening to it. However, I want to say that like the last track on this album is so good. It's really really good. And not to say that other tracks aren't really really good, but the last track is like something special. Next we have, I don't know how, but They Found Me, I think is what it's called. And I wasn't expecting to like this so much. I heard one of the singles and I said, "Ooh, her voice is nice." She has this deep kind of like, there's a lot of texture to her voice. There's moments where I forget what track it is, but she like just hits a high note and just kind of like touches it. And oh, it's so good. It's so beautiful. It's so good. And I eat it up every time. She has such a great voice. And I really like her. So I'm not normally someone that loves like, ooh, this is like a breakup album. But baby, oh my God. I'm like, I've been the same relationship for 10,000 years. So it's like, I'm not relating to any of this, but oh, was it good? But oh, was I feeling like, oh no, I'm going through a breakup right with you, girl. I'm going through it right with you. I enjoyed this album so much. Next, we have Forever is a Feeling. When I first listened to Forever is a Feeling, I didn't fully vibe with it. I just really loved the the singles that came out of it. Best Guess. Oh, Best Guess is so good. Best Guess has me longing for a girlfriend I do not have. It is so good. Um, so I absolutely loved, like that was what like made me really be interested in this project in particular. At first, listen to it was kind of lukewarm on it. The more I listened to it, I said, no, actually, I love this. No, actually, I love this. There's something very um genuine and very like open about it. And I really, really enjoyed this project. And I think I have to put that I loved it. Next we have Rosie by Rose. I've heard people say Rose. There's an accent on that E. There is an accent on that E. So that would lead me to believe her name is Rose. Anyways, I I thought this was fine. The first track made me emotional. I thought she sounds beautiful on the opening track of this album. And I found it to be very very sad and I found it to be very compelling. However, it's really just kind of giving save to a playlist because that's one of the only songs I care about. I don't really care about the rest of them. I kind of like the Bruno Mars song though. It grew on me, if I'm being honest. But again, just save to a playlist. There's like 3 songs off of that album that I like. Next we have, is it Swim Now, Sink Later, Swim Now, some combination of those words all in caps. This is white people doing black adjacent music. You have, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I don't fully know how to explain that to you. This is Billie Eilish if she had a bigger voice. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say to you. And if you understand what I mean by that, you understand. Um, I listened to one of her songs that used to play at like at one of the jobs I used to work at. Maybe the song Maybe, and I said, "Oh, I kind of like this." And then I listened to the project and I said, "Oh, I'm good." I said, oh, I'm good. I do remember this album, so I do have to put it there, huh? Next, we have Preacher's Daughter by Ethel Cain. Now, I'm actually going to put this, and I like you, but I don't love you. There's actually more tracks in this that I really like. And I was actually so into this project when I first listened to it that I was on Reddit. And after my last video, you understand what it means for me to be on Reddit. I was on Reddit listening to people explain this project because I said, I'm not smart enough to understand this, especially not on a first listen. And someone gave like a really like intense like a deep dive on every single track, and I said, oh, I knew we was doing a lot, but I didn't know we was doing that much. And this makes me respect Ethel Cain immensely, like regardless of anything that she does like music wise. I have to respect her as an artist because I think that she's just a phenomenal writer, so that has to go there. But I actually did like a lot about this project. It's just hard to listen to. Her music is honestly quite difficult to listen to because it's quite depressing and intense and gut wrenching. Even like there's a lot. It's quite heavy. The topics are very, very heavy. Next, we have the Stevie Wonder project. Don't ask why this is in here because it don't make sense with nothing else here. My partner just wanted me to listen to it, and therefore I did. And I have to say she's perfectly fine for, but not for me. I don't really have anything to say. I have respect for Stevie Wonder because I'm not a fucking idiot, but this just isn't my type of music, and that's just that on that. Next, we have this JoJo project. Actually, I don't remember, nor do I care. I thought it was. I thought it was. I thought it was. I don't know. JoJo is again another incredible artist, but it's just not like I don't like R&B. I really don't. Not in like a real way. I'll listen to R&B here and there, but like it has to be an artist that just like does it for me, and I don't think I can just listen to any and every like R&B project. Next we have the Colors Within soundtrack. This is going into that girl, and you just need to understand that I absolutely love that movie. It's literally just one of my favorite movies I think that I've ever watched. It had me bawling my fucking eyes out in the theater, and so much so that like I don't listen to soundtracks for real. I don't listen to soundtracks. And a few days after I watched that film, and I waited a few days just because I was too emotional from the film, I listened to the soundtrack and made me emotional again. Yeah, it's so good. The movie is so good, and the soundtrack is also very, very good. Next, we have Jacob Banks Yonder. I'm going to see Jacob Banks in concert at the end of this month, actually. And you would think I would have listened to this project, like really listened to it. I didn't. I actually have to put this and save to a playlist because I actually didn't really vibe with this that much. Um, which is quite funny. I vibed with every other project I've heard from him, but this one was just like very, very middle of the way to me. Wasn't really a fan of this one, so I have to put save to a playlist. Honestly, it could probably even go in. I actually don't remember, nor do I care, because kinda a little bit. Next, we have this project. Fabiana Palladino. I think that's how you say her name. That's also the name of the project. Um, the way that the cover looks, understand that's what the music sounds like. Like there's no better way to explain it, but the cover of the album gives you the exact vibe of the music. There is something so queer about it, something so cunty about it, something so of its time, like something so of the time that it's referencing about it. Like this literally, I think, came out in 2025. If not 2024, like it's come out like rather recently. And oh, it's so good. Like there's not a single track. Ooh, there's not a single track that doesn't hit. There's not a single track that doesn't hit. Wow, it's brilliant actually. The what is his name? Again, this is on the screen. I literally don't remember his name. This when I first put this album on and I heard the first track and the sound of his voice on the first track. Yup, yup, yup. A, li- a little unhinged, a little weird, a little like here's me now hopping into the weird girl allegations. This is the type of music. Forget the normal girl allegations. We beat them. We back in the weird girl territory. Orion's Son. I wanted to like this more. D'Angelo Wallace was like hyping up this project, and I was convinced that I was going to like this. And I'll say I do like this, but it's not love. I listened to it a handful of times. I enjoyed it well enough, but it's not like my tried and true. Next, we have Charm. Yeah, Charm going straight up to the top, ho. Charm is so good. Again, this is another album where like exactly what the cover looks like is what it sounds like. It sounds like you was on a green couch. It sounds like you got plants everywhere. It sounds like summer is not knocking on your window. It's giving all of that. So there's something so fresh and so vibrant and so charming, dare I say, about this project. Next we have Annie by Spill Tab. Is it Annie? No, Angie. Angie by Spill Tab. Had this on repeat. Had this little thing on repeat. Athlete goes crazy. The song Athlete goes crazy. Love that. Sleep Token. Don't remember, nor do I care. Thought I would like it. I do not. This might get me into hot water. Sorry, I know the girls love you, but I'm gonna have to put you in Perfectly Fine, just not for me. Again, just not my type of music. And last but not least, we put in Geese up in that girl, because of course. Because of course, that's 3D Country, by the way. I've been talking about it this whole time. And that's my tier list. So before Tier Maker kicks me off for a 5011th time, let's just wrap it up. This is what my tier list looks like. This is all 56 of the albums that I listened to. It's really 54 and 2 EPs that snuck their asses onto my tier list. But that is it. So thanks for watching. Do leave me a comment of the music that you listened to in 2025 that you loved. I only want to hear what you loved. I actually don't care about what you hated. Tell me what music that you loved. Tell me what music you're looking forward to in 2026. What artists that are like releasing music. Because I don't actually stay up to date with that. So you might literally put me on to an artist that I didn't realize was putting out music this year. So let me know that. Give this video a like if you liked it. Follow me on Apple Music if you want to see what I'm listening to. I am gonna switch over to Tidal though, so maybe don't follow me on Apple Music. Actually, you'll get the Tidal link when that comes. And then if you're into my book content or what I have to say about books, you can follow me on Goodreads, Storygraph, Fable. And I think that's it. So stop watching. Bye.